dancing to the dancing to the music. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everybody. Go ahead and greet each other in the chat. Share this live because we care. Hope everybody had a good. Why would that happen? Hope everybody had a good day. Why would that happen? That just threw me off. Hope everybody had a good day. Good evening, Father Royal. Good evening, Elder Proctor, Mother Proctor. Good evening, Sanaya. Yeah, just go ahead and greet each other in the chat as we will, and go ahead and share. Go ahead and share this myself.
Before we get started, we'll give a few more minutes for everyone to jump on. And after that, we'll go forth.
I can see now. I can see the YouTube comments. At first, it wasn't popping up, but now it is.
Adrian, hello.
Good evening, Lexi. Good evening. Good evening. You know what I thought about when I saw Lexi's name? I just thought about the book club. I mean, you're not in the book club, obviously, because it's for the women. But in the book club, and Lexi shared something that really touched me recently. And it just kind of goes to show how important community is with us. And I can say that developing community is just important. I'm grateful for the community that we have here at Lifeline. Shameless plug for the book club. It's not too late to join. It's a really good book.
What book are you reading?
Armor of God by Priscilla Shire. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. Sometimes it's sure like that. Schreier. You don't know. Tony Evans' daughter. I know. Okay.
I know who Tony Evans is.
Let me sit there. Good evening, Mama Royal. Good evening, Sandra Crowder. Okay, good evening, Miss Trainer from Newark, New Jersey.
Hey, Newark.
Never, I've never been to New Jersey before. Oh my goodness. Good evening, everybody. But yeah, just go ahead, share this live. Right, see, join the book club. Share this live. Greet each other in the chat like we always do. We want to say that now. We have some things coming up before we even start teaching. We can talk about that really quickly while we give people some time to come in. Or you want to just
wait?
Huh? To the end.
Yeah.
Tony Evans' daughter. That is Tony Evans' daughter. Krista Hirsch's little sister. Or her big sister. I don't know. I like her podcast too. I'll let you start, sir.
All right. So, good evening, everyone. For those who do not know me, I am Minister Chuck. This is Minister Kia. We are the Bradleys. And
I feel like we should have seen when you said that. We are the Bradleys.
Nah, I don't know that one.
Sing, Trey.
So, tonight we just want to talk about pretty much surrendering in a way. And, as we were doing our studying together based off the teachings that Apostle has been going over, we felt God kind of sitting with us with surrendering. So just a brief recap, his teachings pretty much are coming from Isaiah 43, verses 16 through 21. And the main verse that pretty much resonates with this whole entire teaching is verse 19, where it says, "For I am about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it?" In this season, I think that everyone should be expecting for God to do something new. We all know where our church is heading right now. We are in our tabernacle season. And we believe that God is doing something new within our church home. And we should also have that same faith when it comes to our regular homes as well, and our families, that God is doing something new. And we should expect that God is going to do something for us, new for us in this season. But in order for us to receive something new, we have to give up something that's old.
Mm-hmm.
We can't hold on to the same things if we want to receive something new. We have to make room for new things. So that means that we have to get rid of old things. And so
just made me think of something.
what do you think of?
I'm kind of going ahead of myself, but when you say about how we're going into new and it requires something new, it just kind of made me think of new wineskin, old wineskin. You can't pour new wine into old wineskin. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out. I know where it's at, but in my head, I can't call it out. Where is that?
I mean,
I have it, but I just don't have it. But anyway, you can't pour. I thought you were gonna look it up while I was talking.
no.
Well, you ain't trying to help me. You ain't trying to help
That's
me.
what you was doing.
You ain't trying to help me. But you can't pour new wine into old wineskin. It's not because it's just the old bag, but the new wine requires some stretching, requires some growth. The same way where this new season or this new area, this new way forward is going to require a new mindset, new paths, new direction for us. And in order to even get that newness that we're talking about, like you said, old things have to die. And Dana gave it to me. Thank you, Dana.
I was about to read it.
But Dana came through because she loved me.
Oh, whatever. And so it says, Mark 2, verse 22, it says, no one puts new wine. I'm reading for NLT. And it says, no one puts new wine into old wineskins. For the wine bursts the wineskins, and the wine and the skins would both be lost. Mm-hmm. New wine calls for new wineskins. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So in order for us to receive something new from God, we have to be able to make room for that new thing. And in order for us to be able to receive that new thing, there are things that are required. And the first thing is to change our mind and to follow God. And how we're able to do that are the 4 points that Apostle Pastor has.
I call him Bishop Apostle.
Bishop Apostle.
Yeah, Bishop Apostle.
I'm just so used to saying Pastor. I have to get comfortable with saying Apostle because I just been so used to calling him Pastor.
Bishop Apostle.
But Apostle has been teaching. The first is your cross. Mm-hmm. We all have to pick up our cross daily. It's not a choice; it's a requirement in order as a believer to continue this walk. We have to grow. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're not growing, you're staying stagnant. Mm-hmm. And I think stagnation is never a good thing. It's never a good thing because if you're never growing, even if it's an inch day by day, you're still growing. You're still moving in the right direction. If you're not growing, you're standing still. And for me, when I think of standing still, I think of dead things. So when you're standing still, to me, it's like you're dead in your faith. If you're not continuously growing, you're dead in your faith. Mm-hmm. I may be wrong, but that's what I think about if you're not growing. Because if we look at a tree, if a tree or a plant isn't growing, it's dead.
But I also feel like we're called to live a life of faith, and faith is always future focused, mm-hmm. looking towards the things, mm-hmm. That's going before me, mm-hmm. not looking back. Like mm-hmm. so many times in the Bible where he tells us don't look back. Like Lot's wife, mm-hmm. don't turn back. Keep going forward.
Bit by bit, absolutely, Bit by bit.
That's Pastor and I always talk about that. Bit by bit, nothing being wasted. Bit by bit.
Absolutely. And your revelation, mm-hmm. And your customs. Mm-hmm. So these are things that we have to change within our mind, change within our daily, everyday routines in order for us to receive that new thing. And in order to receive that new thing, it requires us to live a surrendered life. And in order to live a surrendered life, that means that we have to be in a place where we're willingly surrendering things that God wants us to give up. In order to make room for him, we have to be willing to let things go. Daily. And it's not just one thing and you have reached it. Every level is going to require something new for you to surrender over to God in order for you to grow. And one story in the Bible that we all can look to things.
I'm trying to grope on you on the
I'm
live.
trying to make sure I got a. Sorry, it's bothering me. But there has to be. Well, there's a story in here. It comes from Matthew's 19 verses 21 to 24.
I keep interrupting, and I do apologize. You were saying how we have to live a surrender life, which is a requirement. As the life of a believer, we should live a surrender life. We should be surrendering something daily. So even in a while ago, Pastor did tell us to read the book of Romans. So Romans 12:1, and this is in the NIV. It says, "Present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God. This is your true and proper worship." So like here, he's calling us to the life of the surrender life, this life of worship, which is not just worship is not just
lifting our hands,
swaying and rocking in church, singing. Like that's not worship. Our lifestyle is a worship. Like even was that Sunday or Wednesday night teaching when Pastor was talking about the temptation and denying yourself. Like that is also that's as a way to show God your commitment to Him, give Him room to work in your life. That's worship.
That really he said that on Sunday. That really stuck with me when about God, what the Spirit led Jesus into temptation. And when that happens, when God leads us to temptation, lead us into temptation. But when temptation comes up, that's an opportunity for us to worship God, to bless God, because we're saying no to the things that we like. If we're saying no to the things that we're comfortable with, we say no to the things that we enjoy.
And when we say no to those things, we're saying yes to God.
We're saying yes to God.
That's like you said, that's surrender. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I ain't gonna interrupt you.
No problem. So when we talk about living a surrendered life, that's us willing to be able to surrender the things that God wants us to surrender. If you look at Matthew 19 verses 21 through 24, we see the story of the young man who was rich. He was wealthy, and he asked Jesus about following him, and Jesus pretty much told him that resisting temptation glorifies God. Yes, that's what he said. Thank you, Clarence. This young man who had an array of possessions, he had riches, and when God asked him, Jesus asked him to give up his possessions, his wealth, to follow him, to give his wealth to the poor, he hesitated. He hesitated, and he said no. In a way, he necessarily didn't say no, but he walked away, and
he denied God.
He did. And in that moment, when it comes to things that we want, that when it comes to things that we have the ability to say no to God if we want to give it over to Him. But if you don't give it over, you're not making room for God to give you new things that are better, things that will be worth more.
And even in that with the man with the riches and his possessions, that in that moment, like, because I know sometimes we start talking about money, we start talking about things like that, people get a little tense. Even when it comes down to tithe, like God is not asking, oh, get rid of your possession because He wants you to be poor, or like give and share your wealth because He wants you to be poor and not have anything. He was really trying to test his heart to see, hey, do you love these things over me? Like which one? I did this like 7, but like which one matters most? Like if God is truly God and He sits on the throne of your heart, it should be whatever He tells you to give up, you should be giving up. But I know, that's easier said than done.
It is.
And living a surrendered life is not something that just happens. It's a process.
Yeah.
Just like renewing your mind, it's a process. But yeah, go ahead.
It also comes with relationship. It also comes with building a relationship with God. Because, I mean, from my knowledge of this scripture, I don't think the young man had a relationship with Jesus. But at the same time, I don't think that necessarily would have made it easier for him to give up his riches. It's something. It's our heart posture.
It depends. If this was a man who,
y'all remember we just around with the word for a little.
We just talking.
We just talking, and I hope y'all don't mind that.
We got notes, but sometimes we're gonna go back to the notes. But you don't know, like, what if it was his custom? Like, what if he was in his word all the time? And what if he did have a relationship with God? But still, when Jesus said, hey, get that up, he didn't do it because we have a choice. And I feel like once you start, you have to develop like a pattern, you know, a pattern. Like, even I can kind of relate that to, I remember when I was trying to improve my prayer life, and Pastor Kelly, I was trying to really hear from God. And I was like, I'm just not hearing it. And Pastor Kelly was like, well, after you pray, do you sit? And I'm like, no. And she was like, well, sit. And then at first, it was sit for 1 minute and wait and hear and see if God is saying something. Okay, now you sat for 1, sit for 2 minutes, sit for 3, 4, 5. You know, it's a process. Like, it didn't just happen overnight. I didn't just start hearing them, but I had to learn how to sit and be still in his presence to actually receive what he was saying. And I feel like I'm all over. But go ahead.
But the point that comes with our customs, our habits and stuff. And there are better habits that we all can build even around our prayer life, our study time. And that is about being still and allowing God time to allow that thing to marinate in our heart and for something to come up. And I believe anytime we pray to God and anytime that we read our word, that's an opportunity for God to speak to us, especially concerning whatever we are going to him about. Like, he knows what bothers us. He knows the things that are on our mind. He knows our thoughts. He knows our heart. So if we come to him and we are submitting ourselves to him, we are laying things that we care about down before him, he's going to talk. He's going to respond in some way. And that's where
he responds.
And that's where our customs and our habits have to be still, to be able to listen to him and to be able to hear when he wants us to move, you know. And I know we were talking earlier about
we didn't even get to the thing.
That's fine. We just talking right now. That's fine.
Yeah.
But and we were talking earlier about
hearing God
in real time. And I know that Pastor mentioned that before about you have to, you know, listen out for God in real time. And it's not that it's not the fact that God may tell you something different from what he originally told you, but sometimes he can give you fresh revelations in that moment. He can give you fresh directions in that moment. There's a multitude of things, so we have to be open to hear God and be.
So we can make sure we're going his way and not our own way. So I feel like you said, it's not like God is he's not sending us on link missions, but we need to be able to hear him to know which way is the way to go.
And I think this is a good segue into our the verse that we
the story we kind of been sitting around. So like, I'll say this. We don't teach the same. So sometimes when we come and we're trying to get this thing together, it's like bumping heads because we don't teach the same. But yeah, we are.
But all of that stuff goes back to the point of surrendering and living a surrendered life for God in order for us to receive the new thing. So
we can say that man was not serious about his faith.
I don't necessarily think so either.
But we can move to somebody who was serious about his faith, and that's Abraham. So if y'all can turn to Genesis 22, and then we can go from there. Right. We gotta sit around the word this evening. I think that it's important to actually bring. This is what I do like in my devotion, that we can bring like Bible stories and talk about them, because there's so much revelation in the stories of the Bible, and like you learn so much. And each Bible story hits different depending on where you are in life, you know, what season you're in, how old you are. So like, I'm pretty sure everybody has heard this story before and maybe didn't look at it this way. But in Genesis 22, starting at 1,
2.
Okay. I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with, or maybe I should ask, is everybody familiar with the story of Abraham and his son when God promised Abraham a son in his old age, and he believed God for his son. Abraham got the son, and then God said, yeah, I need that son back. Run it back one time. What? That's what he said. He said, I need the son back. Let me see him. And he said, okay, go up to the mountain to worship me. So they were going to go and worship.
And so starting at verse 2, it says, take your son, and I'm reading from NLT. I love NLT. That is where I read from. So if y'all can read NLT with me, that's fine. Read whatever you want to read in. But Genesis 22:2, it says, take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you love so much, and go to the land of Moriah. Go and sacrifice him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains, which I will show you. Now, reading that, the first thing that came to my mind was, and I want you all to write this in your notes. Your faith has to be higher than your emotions. Things we are attached to are some of the things that we love and we hold dearly to. And I just put myself as a father who loves his children. This could have been us. So it just I want to give you guys some context. So prior to Kia and I getting married, there were questions if we were going to be able to have children ourselves. Kia dealt with fibroids in the past, and I had issues with my testicles where, I'm not going to be blunt, but that's what it's called statistically. I'm sorry. Yeah, I went there. But yeah, I had issues with my testicles where I continuously got pain in my testicles it was more like a course of like a year and a half where I was having this pain. And it was called epididymitis, where the epididymis is where it comes from the testicle and it goes up. And that tube was always inflamed. And the doctor said that if it continues to be inflamed, that there's a chance that scar tissue can build and it will prevent me from having children. And so a few months after Kia and I got married, we were blessed with the opportunity to be able to, have a kid. And that was something that was very near and dear for me, because there was a time where we questioned if that was even going to be a thing for us. Mm-hmm. And I can put myself in Abraham's shoes. And if God was to tell me, like, I want you to take your one and your only son to a mountain and sacrifice him as a burnt offering, I probably would be like, Lord, what do you mean? Like, this is my son, the son that you promised me, the good thing. You promised me something good, and now you want me to give it back?
First of all, don't even bring that to me, because the answer is gonna be no.
Because we have a choice, right? And so
Mama Vaughn said, beautiful children. Three of them.
Yeah. And so in that moment, and Genesis 22 doesn't narrate the emotion that Abraham and Isaac had throughout this whole entire journey. So I only can put myself in that place. And I can imagine that Abraham had questioned. Abraham had nerves. Abraham was feeling anxious. Abraham was pulling his hair out, because it's either, do I trust God, the God who brought me from my home and took me to an unknown land? Mm-hmm. Who do I trust God who I didn't think that I was going to be able to have a baby with my wife at old age? Do I trust him? Mm-hmm. Or do I hold on to the thing that he gave me and say, God, hey, I don't know about that.
I know I trusted you back then, and that's great and all, but this is no. I'm gonna just hang on here.
And when we talking about something new, this is something new. God was testing Abraham's heart. Mm-hmm. Can I get something new to you? Mm-hmm. And so I only can imagine emotionally that Abraham felt a way, mm-hmm. because I know I would, and I'm pretty sure anybody who has children and God told them to say you have to sacrifice your kid, mm-hmm. you would feel a way.
Obedience, following God's instruction is important. Absolutely.
It's so important. Continue when we talk about instruction. God gave Abraham specific instructions.
You know what? Mm-hmm. I think sometimes we wrestle with the instructions. We don't know what the end result is going to be, because God doesn't always give us the end. Sometimes God is just like, "Yep, this is what we doing," and keep it pushing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he don't say what the end result is. Some things God has told me to do, I'm like, and then, and he doesn't always answer. Mm-hmm. Like, first do number one first. But you know, that's like sometimes we read ahead. Like even when you putting stuff together, anytime you put stuff together, you don't look at the instructions, and you always wind up flipping the piece towards the wrong way. Whereas you would have looked at the instructions and followed it, it'd have been the right way, but you went your own way. All right, let's keep going because we'll stay there.
Verse 3, the next morning, Abraham got up early. He saddled his donkey.
You read the whole story.
Might as well.
All
right. He saddled his donkey and took 2 of his servants with him, because everybody may not have NLT. So, along with his son Isaac. Then he chopped wood for a fire, for a burnt offering, and set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day of their journey, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. Verse 5, "Stay here with the donkey," Abraham told the servants. "The boy and I will travel a little further. We will worship there, and we will come right back." Now, I'm trying to write this in your notes, right? You have to set boundaries with those who are close to you when you are laying your sacrifices at the altar. And so, as we look here, Abraham brought 2 people, 2 of his servants with him to make this journey up the mountain. But there was a certain point where he told them to stay here. Don't move. Come with us. We'll go here and we'll worship. And that right there was really significant to me, because throughout your journey of surrendering, throughout your journey of laying things at the altar, laying things at the foot of God, sometimes you also have to set boundaries with people around you, because they will also come into, how do I want to say this? They can distort your judgment. They can distort they can conflict with God as well. Because when you have people in your ear who's trying to say, "Oh, you wanna stop drinking? Why not? Like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with having to drink
all of a sudden.
Every now and then. You want to change. You became a believer. Now all of a sudden you want to stop.
Some things have to stay behind.
Some things,
and it's not even just some people, because some people could be you. You need to stay. Not you. Old you needs to stay behind. You go forward. It reminds me of when Jesus went to pray. Jesus had 12, but he rode with the 3, and even they couldn't hang. So he went, "Come and stay with me while I pray." I believe Jesus went a little bit further and prayed, and they were right here. So sometimes.
And imagine if he was praying when they're around sleep and stuff. That could have distracted him.
Somebody snoring.
That could have threw him off.
Exactly. Or even I think like we were talking about how when they were going up, if he didn't listen to God's instructions, and if he would have brought everybody up there, he didn't say take everybody up to the mountain. You and your son go up there. Now, if he would have brought everybody up there, if Abraham would have told them people, "We about to go up here and kill my son," they could have called DCFS on this man. Like, if my friend told me we're about to go and kill the baby, we're not doing that. It's the no. Like, that would have stopped what he was supposed to do. So, like, some people you have to set boundaries with when you're on the journey of surrender, and have to be okay with doing that. We were never made to just fit in. Not saying isolate yourself, but we were never made we don't need everybody to come into agreement with what we do. As long as we're in alignment with what he says that we need to be doing, that's what we need to be focused on. I'll let you have it.
And so the next thing I want y'all to put in your notes is, when you surrender to God, that is worship. Because Abraham clearly says that we will worship there, right? And so he knew exactly what God called him to do. God called him to sacrifice his son. And surrendering over to God, his son, he called that worship in that moment. And one of the things that really, outside of that really stuck to me was his posture, his word choices, because he said, "And then we will come right back." So I believe that Abraham, in that moment, he was trusting God. From the moment that God told him to sacrifice him, he was trusting God that God would not go through with the sacrifice of his son.
Mm-hmm.
So even when we are going through this season of surrendering, we have to be careful with the words that we choose. We have to be careful with the words that we say, because he easily could have said, "Oh, and we're going to go up here and worship. And I'll be back."
Mm-hmm.
But he spoke it that we will be back. So even when we're going through these things, we have to be careful with what things that we say, and we also have to be careful with the boundaries that we have to set boundaries with the people that are around us as well.
Because surrendering is not just, like you said, surrender is not just we said surrender is worship, but it's not just the lifting of a hand. This is saying, God, you're first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? God, you're first, and I'm moving on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really feel like that's really what it is when we're surrendering to God, and that's why it's worship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Verse 6. So Abraham placed the wood for the burnt offering on Isaac's shoulders, while he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the two of them walked on together, Isaac turned to Abraham and said, "Father." "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "We have the fire and the wood," the boy said, "but where is the sheep for the burnt offering?" And going into that, you know, I was looking at it as Isaac was carrying the same thing that he would be sacrificed up that mountain. And as I was sitting there reading, the correlation between Isaac carrying the wood that he would be sacrificed on, it made me think of Calvary, and when Jesus carried his own cross up the hill where he was going to be crucified for us. And just thinking of correlation, the imagery of that sacrifice, when looking at the sacrifice that Abraham was going to make, to me, it just brought full circle back to Jesus, that he paid the ultimate sacrifice for us. And when I look at that, I thought about Isaac in that moment where he's sitting there, he's questioning his father about, we're going up here with no where's the thing that we're going to offer back to God?
We're going up here empty-handed.
We're going up here empty-handed. And I'm sure Isaac had questions. Maybe he thought, okay, am I being sacrificed? What's going on?
Maybe that didn't even cross his mind, because Isaac trusts his dad. So you can easily obey what you trust. Like when you go to the store with Charles don't know if you got no money in your pocket or not to pay for nothing, but he trusts that if you said you and him are going to the store to get something, y'all going to the store to get whatever y'all going to get, because he trusts you, because he has relationship with you. Same way Abraham is trusting God, because he has relationship with God. So this surrender thing is not just coming off of the strength that Abraham is a good daddy, Abraham is a good Christian. No, Abraham had relationship. Isaac even has relationship because he's being obedient. Isaac was we don't know how old Isaac, we don't know how old he was. He was a young man. He was old enough to carry that wood up. So maybe he could have been old enough to take that wood and knock his daddy upside the head and say, "You're not taking me up here." But he didn't do that.
Childlike faith. I like that.
He didn't do that. He said, "We're gonna go."
My
daddy said, "We're going up here to worship. We're gonna go up here and worship." So even though like it's Abraham acting on his faith, but it's Isaac is regaining that same faith. My daddy, whatever my daddy said, that's what we do. My daddy said.
Yeah. So what else off that? I moved my spot.
He was talking about when he was going up.
Ooh, I moved my spot.
I think
9.
You on 6?
I don't know.
I'm on 6.
It's 8 now. Okay. Verse 8. And
don't be mad because I'm in the Amplified.
So, where is the sheep for the burnt offering? Verse 8. God will provide a sheep for the burning offering, my son. Abraham answered, and they both walked on together. Verse 9. When they arrived at the place where God had told him to go, Abraham built an altar, and arranged the wood on it. Then he tied his son Isaac and laid him on the altar of the wood.
It don't say you contested.
It,
He
it,
wasn't
it,
squiggling and swerving.
it didn't
He
say that
was
at
just
all.
doing. He was doing the things.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham picked up the knife to kill his son as a sacrifice.
Ain't no way.
At that moment, the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. Yes, Abraham replied, here I am. Verse 12. Don't lay a hand on the boy, the angel said. Do not hurt him in any way, for now I know that you truly fear God. You have not withheld from me even your son, your only son. And I have a question from you. What are you withholding from God? What are you withholding from God that God wants you to give up? To see that if you trust him, to see if that you love him, to see that if you yourself can be in Isaac's shoes, and to say that you truly fear God. And to fear God, that doesn't mean that you're scared. That doesn't show that you timid in front of him. That just shows that there's a deep reverence, a deep respect for him.
Trust his way over your way.
So what is that one thing for you? I know for myself, I'm gonna just be honest. And I was going back and forth if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it because Pastor said it last Sunday, and if he can say it, I can say it. So myself, there was a time period where I dealt and I struggled with pornography, and I struggled with lust, and that was something that I held on to it. I held on to it, and like you said, that it was comforting. There were times where I would just watch it and I would do nothing, just watch it because it was comforting. And Kia and we even had a conversation about that. And it was something for myself that even after I watched it, I felt negative. I felt dirty. I felt disgusting because I know deep down I should not be watching this. But in order for me to move on to the next level and to be able to grow as a husband, as a father, that I have to be able to give up something that I was holding on to because it brought me comfort. It satisfied my flesh. So that's for me. So if I can be transparent and say something that I held on to and I let go, what is something that you know in your heart that you can let go for God to bring in a new thing? And even with pornography, that's something that put a barrier in between me and my wife. That's something that really impacted our relationship. And for me, in order for me to grow as a husband, for God to do something new for me as a husband, as a father, I had to grow. And by me growing, by me picking up my cross, I had to turn from that. And there's a struggle every day. I am tempted every single day to pull up a video and to watch it. But I have to deny my flesh. And it's not because that I want to, but I know that I have to. Because if I want to continue to keep growing as a man, I have to put my own self to the side and I have to submit to God. And it's hard. It's hard. It's a daily struggle. But with that, I can say that God has done things for me in my life. I feel ever since then, the relationship between me and my wife, it has
have
grown.
a new level of so even you saying that these are things that I'm giving up. When you give up something, you pick up something too. So you laying down pornography, but you're also picking up self-control, which is the fruit of the spirit. And from that self-control, what do? We have a deeper level of intimacy between us because your mind is not filled with this. So you're, in the same sense, that's an act of renewing your mind. This, it may be pleasurable for now, but this is not it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's very important during this time for us to identify what we are not willing to lay down. And it may not be a thing. It may not be like a physical thing that you can touch. It may be, I need to lay down eating at night. I'm just snacking. I need to lay down gossip. You know what I mean? I need to lay down negative self-talk. I need to lay down, feeding into the lies of the enemy. It's so many different things that we have to lay down that I feel like sometimes we just overlook them. So I think that it's important for even after we end this devotion to spend some time in prayer and identify what is something that God's calling you to surrender to Him. Because just like in the children of Israel, they weren't able to bring, lay down doubt. Like if you're bold enough to put something and you want some accountability, put it in the chat. What you need to lay down. I can identify it, if you know it already, because some of us, we don't need to go and pray about it. You know what you need to lay down. You know what it is. And if you're bold enough to share that in the chat, go ahead and share that in the chat. Because like I was saying about the children of Israel, they had to lay down old habits, old ways, so that they could cross over, so that they could. A whole generation had to be wiped out. Wiped out.
Yeah.
Like when I think about that, I think about getting myself together, because I don't want to be wiped out. You know what I mean? Of course, I want my children to inherit the land, but what ways am I showing them? You know what I mean? I should not be passing down the ways of Babylon. I should be passing down His ways, because I'm doing the work that I need to do. I'm laying it down, so you already know to lay it down.
Right.
You know, so that's our custom. You know what I mean? So
so that's what I definitely want everyone to definitely do some self-reflecting on. Food addiction, that's a strong one.
Listen,
that's a strong one. All these additives and chemicals that they put in food, they do it so that we can be addicted to it. That's a whole nother conversation.
Well, where's Dr. Audrey?
But yes, I want you all to make sure you put that in your notes. And I want, after this devotion, when we spend time in prayer, if you don't already know what you are withholding from God, I want you to pray and seek God about that, about what are you withholding, because that may be the one thing that God is waiting for you to come out of agreement with and to break attachment with, so He can give you the thing that He really wants to get you, the new thing.
I even think that we need to change the way we look at surrender as a negative. I feel like sometimes we can look at surrender as a negative thing, because it is something that it's us giving up. God forbid we give up something.
Right.
I mean, He did give up His son. God forbid we I know God be looking like these people, you know. But we have to change the way we look at it. It's not a negative thing. There is great fruit that comes from surrendering. There's a reward that comes from surrender. Like if we keep reading down in Genesis 22, if we go to verse 16, and I'm going to go in the NLT. We're in the NIV or NLT?
NLT.
I guess I'll jump over to the NLT with you, because I was going to amplify. It says, "This is what the Lord said, because you have obeyed me and have not withheld even your son, your only son, I swear by my own name that I will certainly bless you, and I will multiply your descendants by beyond number, like stars in the sky and the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will conquer the cities of their enemies, and through your descendants, all the nations of the earth will be blessed, all because you have obeyed me." All of that.
Just because he was able to surrender to God, and he was faithful, and he trusted God.
And now what is Abraham? The father of what?
Many descendants.
Many nations.
Many nations.
One son. The nations. I can't.
So that goes to show, and that's an example of when God calls you to surrender something, that there is reward behind that. That there is something that you will receive that is new. And you show me something?
No.
And she did go over, she skipped over this one verse.
I skipped your notes.
Yeah, just a little bit, but just one. But if you go back to verse 13, it says, "Then Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught by his horns in a thicket. So he took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering in the place of his son." And I just want to give you guys hope and encouragement. Whatever you are wanting to break hold of, or whatever you want to give over to God, I just want to reassure you that God will give you something in place of that. And that may be peace, that may be new habits, That may be a new mind. Whatever, he will give you whatever you need to not fill that void back in with that old thing. He will give you something new to fill that spot. So I just want to give you guys encouragement with that, on that part.
Yeah, like we said earlier, Abraham could not step into that new thing until he couldn't step into the new thing that God promised until he gave up the old attachment, which he laid at the altar. So like Isaac wasn't just his son, he was his promise. He was the future. He was the thing that Abraham, we would say, loved the most. And God wasn't trying to take Isaac. He was trying to make Abraham into the kind of vessel that he could carry more. So he was stretching him in his faith during this journey of surrender. So that's the same pattern that we should see in our walk with Jesus. You can't pick up your cross and still hold on to everything that you had before. When Jesus was carrying his cross, he had nothing but the cross. So we have to rid ourselves of things that we are holding on to, the old things we're holding on to. We need to carry our cross, just like the new wine needs new wineskins. A new move of God needs a new mindset, needs a new level of obedience, and a new level of surrender. So I pray tonight that we all are challenged in this area, that we will surrender and we will give up the hard things, the easy things, all of the things that God is requiring us to give up and become serious about our disciplines and getting to that place. Like I said, it's not a one-time thing. It's a daily surrender. It's a daily surrender, and it's something that God is requiring us to do, and that is what we should do, because we all are here to live and serve God.
Amen. All right. Let's look in the chat, see if anybody has anything to say.
Only God, good seed can take the place of bad seed. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, do you have more to share?
No, I don't. That was everything.
That is all that we have to share tonight. I do pray that everybody was blessed and encouraged by this word, that it fell on good ground tonight, that you guys can take even some of the nuggets that we shared and apply them to your lives, and just continue your own study, continue to pick up your cross and carry it. We do have, now we got to you talking good. Yeah. But no, we do have some things coming up tomorrow. We have prayer all day. Bishop Apostle Reggie, Apostle has called us to prayer. So we will be praying New Day prayer online, and we will all, exactly, it's the seal of approval. Pastor Kelly knows. You know. We will be praying all day. So we're praying online, and we will also be meeting together at the tabernacle at 7:15 to gather, and we're going to pray in the tabernacle at 7:15 tomorrow. And then after that, I think Saturday
is the men's roundtable. So I'm encouraging all men to be there. Now, look, I'm gonna say this: I have a lot on my plate. I have work, family, school. I have a lot of schoolwork, and I'm making a sacrifice to get there. And then even on Saturday, my family is celebrating Thanksgiving a week early in Wisconsin. So I'm even coming just to be in the presence, just to see what, the men ministry are offering, to see how we can continue to be better men in Christ. So if I'm coming, there's no reason why y'all should.
And we live in Timbuktu.
And we live almost an hour away. So if I'm making a sacrifice and I'm coming, please come out there, man. Be there. Be square.
Really? Wait. That's like a rectangle.
Hold on. No.
Okay.
It's a square. Be square.
I'm sorry. And then next week on Thursday, we are having Thanksgiving service. So we'll be in the building that morning. So the pastor always says, please come to the Thanksgiving gathering, or he prays that your turkey will be burned, or that your dressing will be sour.
Or dry macaroni.
Dry macaroni is tragic. Don't let your macaroni be dry. Come and give us some praise on Thanksgiving morning. See you guys next time.
Hello, Lifeline family, friends, and first-timers. Welcome. I'm Sam Campbell with the Community Updates.
All right, Lifeline. Now, who doesn't love a great celebration? I mean, if it's your birthday, anniversary, promotion, graduation, whatever it is, we want in on it. So snap that selfie and tag it with hashtag LC Celebrates, and let's spread the joy. And if you're watching online, we want to see you too. So post your selfie with hashtag Lifeline everywhere and tell us where you're joining from. We love staying connected because why? We're family.
Heaven's Agenda Coat Drive is underway, going through December 14th. Bring your new or slightly used coats to the Tabernacle and look for the marked boxes to place your coat in. Lifeline. Come, let's bless others.
Hey Lifeline, we are Stretch Life Group, and we are here to invite you to join a life group. Listen, go on the LC app, go to lifelinechicago.com and find you a life group. You need community. Don't do life alone. Join a life group today. Join a life group, life group, life group. Come and join a life group, life group, life group. Come and join a life group, life group, life group. Hey.
Join us for our 11 a.m. Sunday gathering at 815 South Finley Road in Lombard, Illinois. Now, we suggest arriving around 10:30 a.m. This is when our doors open and the Life Kids check-in begins. Please note that Life Kids check-in ends at 11:15 a.m., so make sure you get here on time. And while we're here at the Tabernacle, we ask for your courtesy to our seasoned saints to let them use the restroom on the main floor. Bathrooms are located in the lower level. We will also be having our Wednesday in-person Bible study starting at 7:15 here as well. Let's pack the place Sunday and Wednesday with ourselves and the guests you bring with you.
Hey Lifeline, miss me? Because I missed you. My time in Crave has been an experience I will never forget. They have all shown me love, kindness, and patience, the three factors I continue to carry out in my everyday life to be more Christ-like. They have impacted my life by showing me that being a child of God is something that should be represented proudly, not quietly expressed. So I am inviting all people of ages 11 to 18 to come to Crave and don't miss out on any of the fun.
Brothers, don't wait. Scan the QR code to purchase your tickets and register today. Thanksgiving is happening on November 27th at 9:30 a.m. here at the Tabernacle. Start the day with praise and thanks before breaking bread and having fellowship in the evening with your family. In fact, bring them with you to our house, the Tabernacle, where we feast on the Word of God and bask in His presence. Not only giving God thanks, we want to thank God with you. Share your testimony with the Lifeline community by posting it with hashtag LC Testimonies or text the word testify to 54244. We look forward to hearing how God blessed you. This December, we will be having our Christmas gathering every Sunday. So don't skip a Sunday at the Tabernacle or you will miss what's in store for our community. December 21st at 5 p.m. is Lifeline's second annual Vision Keeper Gala. This is an invitation-only event for Lifeline Vision Keepers. We look forward to seeing all our Vision Keepers on December 21st.
Mark your calendars November 30th at 11 a.m. Life Kids and Crave are taking over the Sunday gathering. Come through, worship with us, the LK and Crave way. You don't want to miss this takeover.
So there you have it, Lifeline. You're officially in the know. Let's make it happen this week. Jump into the events, show up for the gatherings, and let's live loud with purpose and passion. Let's go, Lifeline. And remember, Lifeline is a place where God's love flows like a river. Catch the vision by reaching up to God, reaching into your fellow brothers and sisters, and reaching out to the community with the love of God. We'll see you next time.